investing in your power sector, they're not investing in the real things. They are not investing in your education. But they want you to believe that, no, we are, things are happening. How? In your head. That's why they could put up a show on a refinery that is meant to be sorting diesel. If the Port Harcourt refinery is indeed completed, there's a segment that's supposed to be processing petroleum, then transfer the rest to this diesel plant. But they took everybody to the diesel plant and told them that this is the PMS plant. So what happened to the diesel? They just threw away the rest of the crude oil. Because, you know, crude oil can give you up to 700 different products, a lot of stuff, right? But the first three, petrol, PMS, diesel, AGO, Jet 1, aviation fuel, kerosene. But you don't care about them, Abi, since they are blending PMS for you. Then it's working. You don't want to ask the questions, no? That's too much for you. It's too much for your brains to ask questions, Abi. Because asking questions is going to make you a bad belly in a contraption. It's a long one. Anyway, Mo will leave that one for now. Yesterday, Eyinaya Abaribe was with a show at the Channels studio. And that was when he spoke about Tifnubu running the country like his own private business. He never asked them that he wanted to buy jets. He wanted to buy private jets. And there are so many other things that he never bothered to tell them. He just went on to get them. Yeah? But he said some other things too. Talking about the southeast of Nigeria's insecurity, the trouble, the wahala, and also what he felt about Simon Ekpa's arrest. I'm going to share that with you now, and then we'll react to it.
Known government friends were feeling a vacuum left after the arrest of Nnamdi Kanu.
Well, what vacuum?
I mean,
Nnamdi Kanu was
Nnamdi Kanu engaged.
All of us have been going around trying to make sure that we deal with the matter to make him come out, which we continue to tell the federal government that he is the key. Reason is that everybody using his name and the name of IPOB to perpetrate violence and mayhem. And I always ask the same Simon Ekpa and their group. You want Biafra, fine. Do you want Biafra, or do you get Biafra by killing the same Biafrans you want? How? How does murdering people, how does kidnapping people, how does going around and spreading mayhem, killing policemen, burning police stations down and all that help you? How?
I mean, calling Nigeria animal farm, calling Nigeria zoo, calling Nigeria all sort of, I'm painting a picture that this is a hell on earth, a country that is unlivable, and giving an impression from outside of the country as though anyone who is in government or anyone who represents any other thing other than IPOB is a villain. Now, and there are those who believe that, yes, the agitation and some of the intervention that Nnamdi Kanu represented, as soon as he got off the radar, of the scene, there are those who wanted to feel and lead that voice. But the question is that You have been agitating for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. Buhari government has passed. You were arrested as being a surety for Nnamdi Kanu. There are those, in fact, who said some of you were the promoters of the likes of Nnamdi Kanu, and what has led to some of the violence that we have seen in the South. The fundamental question is, how can this end, the agitation, or what can bring to a conclusive peace in the Southeast region?
How it will end is simple. Every one of them claims that it is because Nnamdi Kanu is incarcerated. That is why they are doing. They are not. That's not why. It will end when Nnamdi Kanu comes out, and then we now know who is a genuine agitator and who is a criminal.
How do you go about that?
How you go about that is that when Nnamdi Kanu comes out, then he can know his followers.
By extra legal or judicial means?
No. Nobody will now have a reason to say, oh, we are burning down this station, we are killing this policeman, we are killing our own people, nobody's doing, you are going to be doing sit at home because he is incarcerated.
Senator, what I'm asking is that how would this happen? How will Nnamdi Kanu be released? Because that means the case before the courts are probably going to be jettisoned. Those are extrajudicial, extra legal means, or political means.
The Nnamdi Kanu was extraordinary rendition to Nigeria. The Supreme Court has even accepted that. And what we have been doing is, rather than continuing through the court process, let us take it outside of that. What has Nnamdi Kanu done that Igboho did not do? Think about it. Yet, Igboho is walking free today. Is it shouting or you're screaming? They've said all that. Even Igboho went the other day to London to say, oh, I'm going to submit a letter to the Prime Minister or to the King of England or whatever. We want to have our own nation. What has happened to him? You never had anything from the Nigerian government.
So Nnamdi Kanu has been treated unfairly. Is that what you mean?
Of course. And this is the issue now. The Southeast, 5 states, 50 ministers. A state like Ogun State has 4 ministers. The whole Southeast, just that 5. And so when people continue to look at this unequal treatment, you just give fuel to these people who continue to say they don't like us, they don't treat us well, they don't do all that. So, and I went and I've been talking to the powers that be. And I can also use this opportunity to talk to the powers that be. When President Tinubu became president, one of his first acts was to change the national anthem. In the national anthem, there is a line that says that we want to build a nation where no man is oppressed. So if you're from the Southeast and you see that you're just being given, okay, the Constitution says you must get one, and then you ask yourself, am I being oppressed or not? So I think that fairness, equity is the fundamental thing. And for every Igbo, note it, for every Igbo, a true born Igbo, there is something that is innate in us. In Igbo, it is said, Egbe bere, ugo bere, let the kite perch and let the eagle perch. Let no one disturb the other. So we are known for fairness.
So the thing,
that's not the point.
You're talking as though the Southeast has been subdued.
No, there is a deliberate policy, whether it is advertent or inadvertent. What people do when you come out of a war, when you have all this type of thing, when you want to have inclusiveness, you bend over backwards to make people feel that they are also part of this polity. And I say, and I repeat, you cannot have in your national anthem where you say, where no man is oppressed, and you continue to oppress a group of people. All you do
so the South is an oppressed people.
I'll tell you one thing, Seun, from Lagos to Ibadan, from Abuja to Kaduna is about 100 and something kilometers. Is that not so? Mm. From Onitsha to Enugu is 120 kilometers. 60 checkpoints. How can you have that? The whole of the Southeast is the most policed area in the world. From Owerri to Aba, which is just barely 36 or 37 kilometers, you will find 30 checkpoints. Every 1 kilometer you have a checkpoint.
Isn't it because of the unrest and some
How
of the
can it
violence?
be because of the unrest? Yeah, they are not unrest everywhere. You have unrest from here. So to Kaduna.
Are you saying there is a deliberate militarization
I say it's
of the
very
region?
deliberate, and we have shouted, we have screamed, we have told the military, look, there's something that is going on in the Southeast today that is the worst that you can ever see. You're coming out in a transport vehicle. Nobody will check the transport vehicle. You come to an army checkpoint, they will just say, everybody come out and walk. Whether it's raining, whether the people are sick, whether it is, why do you have to do that? And this is in this country. It doesn't happen anywhere else. So everybody in the Southeast,
friends were feeling.
Oh, Sheung can be very, very annoying, right? It can be very, very annoying with his intentional stupid questions, so, right? But the bottom line is this. A lot of us also believes that for whatever is going on in the eastern part of Nigeria that got escalated to this level, even though we know that the criminals in charge of the contraption who have this unwritten, it's like an unwritten Cold War of a thing for the people of eastern Nigeria. Holding Nnamdi Kanu is the instrument or an ingredient that was needed to further sort of militarize the eastern part of Nigeria. They've wanted to do it for a long time. You get? So that they could say, because they've been pushing that for years back, that if something is not done to tame Nnamdi Kanu, the IPOB, right, they are potential threats to the political class from the eastern Nigeria. And the political class in eastern Nigeria believes that if the IPOB is a threat to them, they are a threat to Nigeria too, because it's just going to be a matter of time before the people of eastern Nigeria will go the route of we are breaking up again. And they don't want that to happen. Now, this has backfired. Those who champion the idea of taking Nnamdi Kanu out, a lot of them have come back now to feel like, man, it's counterproductive, so to say. But now they can't reverse it the way they initiated it. So Abaribe, Abaribe, this is one of the reasons why I kind of like the guy, even though he's one of them in that place, but he is not one of them in that regard. When it was time for people to stand up for Nnamdi Kanu as shorties back then, he didn't blink. He did stand up for him. He was arrested as well. When they said that Nnamdi Kanu jumped bail, he never denied him until when that same bail was withdrawn by that woman. What's her name again? So he said he would do it again now that things have gone south, so to say. If he's called to come and stand shorty for him again, he would do it without any blinking. So that's why we believe that for all those who have used the incarceration of Nnamdi Kanu to perpetuate criminality, terrorism, and all other things they've done in the eastern part of Nigeria. Let Nnamdi Kanu go. And like he said, what is it that Nnamdi Kanu said that Igboho didn't say even more, or even did more? So today, Igboho is walking around, is kind of like feeling a good, with himself. And then they are scared that if Nnamdi Kanu is freed, is more, I don't get it. So we all know that it is an institutionalized, if it was going to be like a white country, they would say institutionalized racism, but it's this institutionalized ethnicism or institutionalized tribalism. So those who have used his name to perpetuate criminality, right, they could possibly be exposed when he is no longer in any incarceration. That is a straightforward thing. But we know those behind his incarceration, they are not just those in Abuja. There are actually those of them who are from the eastern part of Nigeria that believes that if Nnamdi Kanu is freed tomorrow, that may possibly just expose all of the other conspiracies against the Igbo nation, so to say. So that's why somebody like myself will always speak up and say, well, if we want to kind of be honest and straightforward, it is more than just releasing Nnamdi Kanu. It is what would happen, right, when Nnamdi Kanu is freed, that scares shit out of these guys. Sooner or later, it's going to be released. It's unfortunate, right, that those who are supposed to possibly push for this are among those who are so scared of him being out there. It's unfortunate, but I don't think it will really stop them. So, Abaribe, putting it out there as usual, right, that Nnamdi Kanu will be instrumental to the peace move in the eastern part of Nigeria. There are others who believe that he can no longer control some of these rabid dogs, but maybe because they do not really know who Nnamdi Kanu is and the kind of influence he sort of wield. He said it recently when he was in their court, remember?
It's not part of this family. Repeat it again. Our family is based on 4 cardinal points. You must be without fear before your enemies. You must speak the truth always, even if it leads to your death. You must help the poor and those who cannot help themselves, and be of good character that God may love thee. That's who we are. So what to be your words to those out there in the East who are killing your that they are criminals. They are criminals. They are not part of this family. We are called a family for a reason. We've come to save our people, not to enslave them. Anybody conducting any type of activity that contravenes the welfare of our people is a criminal. I must be dealt with.
Wait, when you say repeat this one.
Anybody who is involved in any form of criminality, any form of violence or subversion in the name of Biafra is not part of this family. Our family is noble. It's called IPOB. It's all over the world.
So you condemn anything that has to do with killing in the southeast?
Why would I kill violence? Yes. People have sacrificed my parents for them. Why would I want to kill any other person after that?
So anybody who's committing crime in the name of IPOB is on his own.
He's a criminal. I've said it. He's a criminal and should be dealt with adequately.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Today is Tuesday. We are covering one nation.
Anybody that is killing people in the name of Biafra is a criminal. That's what Nnamdi Kanu said. And that is why it is so important for him to be out there, except the fact that those who wanted the violence to go on, which is the criminal government of Nigeria. They want the violence to go on so that they can always put the old stigma of IPOB is this, IPOB did this, or IPOB did that. It's been working for them inside Nigeria, not outside Nigeria. They did all they could, right, to put this stigma on IPOB worldwide, internationally, but it never worked. They proscribed them in Nigeria, but the rest of the world was like, no, they are not. They are not terrorist group. If there's any terrorist group, it will be the Nigerian government sponsored the uniformed terrorists, the army and the rest of they are also, they are on uniformed rogues. So I strongly believe that when Nnamdi Kanu is out, right, some of these shenanigans, some of this nonsense will actually like evaporate on its own. I do. Anyway, let's move to something else. Yesterday, something happened. It was supposed to be an expose, right? So it started with this guy who happened to be a special advisor to Sanwo-Iku. His name is, I think, Read One or something, Ajetumobi. Now, listen, they were having this brickbat on social media, okay? And the brickbat was almost about nothing. But because some of those who are the Ronukus of Lagos, thugs, the bigots on social media as well, they were hired because of their bigotry. So a conversation that shouldn't probably lead to any sort of a thing led this guy to reveal some certain things that we are aware of. And what was that? That during the EndSARS protest, okay, that the real murderers, the killers of the unarmed protesters, they were the agents of Lagos State government. In fact, you see the killings that took place at Lekki Toll Gate, it was believed that they were acting on the call from Nnamdi's nanny, which is Sanwo-Iku. Now, Sanwo-Iku was the one who called on Boko Haram to please send the soldiers. He already said that himself, he confessed to that. So the killings that took place in Lagos, it wasn't just at the Lekki Toll Gate. People were killed in other parts of Lagos. I'm talking of Lagos now, not all over Nigeria yet, okay? People were killed in other places. So this guy just dropped the bombshell that those who burned the TVC in Lagos, those who said the Nnamdi's TV station in Lagos, who set the building ablaze, that days after that, they sent soldiers to go and look for them. They hunted them, which is what happened, which is actually what happened, right? And they executed them. He said this online, and people picked it up. Listen, he said, the full story of people who burned down TVC in 2020 will be told one day, with gory clips and images. One thing to note, majority of them have been hunted down and executed. One of them, a young boy trading in cooking gas around K2, was found with AK-47 at the site. Even his blah, 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 share you get. And somebody asked, what do you mean? Hunted down and executed. Are you in the know of extrajudicial killings? He just said, laughing out loud, lol. You want to create a narrative in your head. What is extrajudicial killings here? This is him trying to like double down to justify it. He said, some of the people were chased by soldiers. An exchange of fire occurred. Then arsonists were overpowered and killed in the process. Others ran away. Is that an extrajudicial killing to you? Now, there is nowhere that protesters exchange gunfire with the military. There is nowhere in that time. No record of that. But he kind of created that scenario to say the protesters, so they exchanged gunfire with military and they were killed. Why would you expose such thing? Wait till they worry you. Why would you do that? So immediately, they sacked him, even though they said he's suspended. Here. Sonweku said Jide Sonweku has suspended his senior special assistant on print media, Wale Ajetumobi. Mr. Ajetumobi's suspension comes on the heels of the misrepresentation of facts on his personal X account on a past incident. The governor wishes to state categorically that his administration frowns at any form of extrajudicial punishment and will not be a part of any such action. That is not who we are. That is not our way. Chai, you murdered people, protesters, and you claim that they shot at military. So now the guy went back and said he started doing the shalaye. His shalaye was